Hello everyone and welcome back to Technically Unsure, where I'm not really sure what I'm doing technically.
What am I doing?
So today in this video, I'm actually going to review something that one of you guys told me in one of my videos as a comment. So this is a Chinese motherboard. I get a lot of comments from you guys that Chinese crap or malware or rootkit. I did a dedicated video on how you can extract a firmware, a UEFI or BIOS, and analyze it and see what is in it. As long as it works and the price is fair. So these are not really expensive, to be honest. This is a $110 motherboard. It's HUANANZHI, I guess that's how it's pronounced, X99 F8D Plus. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. And I'm gonna be honest, yeah, HUANANZHI, you see, this is not like generic box. I used to get the other ones. They were coming like in a pizza box. And this is a custom built box and looks more premium, let's just say. I know it doesn't mean anything, but I'm just saying, it looks a little bit more professional. This one does not come with anything. No RAM, no CPU. You are on your own. So it's $110 just the motherboard. Let me show you guys what is inside. So they have protection. That's good. So this is the motherboard, which we are going to take a look. But first, I want to show you guys what else is in there. There are two brackets for the cooler, bunch of screws for mounting, open case and all that stuff. There's some thermal paste, another one, two, and it's two SATA cables, and that's it. So I'm not going to use any of those. I am just going to put that back. I have all of those, my own version, so we are going to use that. I might keep the box around because I like to put this like that. We'll see. So let's take this out. Wow. Okay. That looks premium and it's brand new. So here's the deal. I looked around for dual motherboard, super micro. I don't think you can really find a new, but I saw some claiming to they have like super micro new LGA 2011-3 socket supporting motherboards. They were like $400 and used ones are like $200. You have to watch out on eBay if you want to find a good deal, but that good deal is going to be probably like 150. That's the kind of like the best deal that you can get. Okay, this one is $110. As you can see here, it comes with quite a lot of slots. There's some text over here. It says by default there is fixed copper column disposition and the case. When installing the motherboard, you need to remove this copper column and then install the motherboard. But we're gonna take a look. So now I'm gonna remove it. Copper column? What are they talking about? I have no clue. It's an empty slot. There's nothing else in there. I don't know what they're talking about. So some text is here. I showed you on the camera. If you guys can read Chinese, please read and tell me what they mean. But from what I translated, it didn't mean anything. I mean, there's nothing in it. There is a heatsink over here. I'm assuming power stuff underneath, VRM. Voltage stuff over here. There is a PCIe X4 Gen 3 1 for CPU 1, PCIe X4 2.0 NGFF SATA 3. So this is CPU 1 and that's CPU 1. There's nothing in the back. So I'm assuming that's a typo. They just wrote CPU 1, CPU 1 on both, but I'm just guessing, I think. So CPU 1 is this, CPU 2 is this. I'm thinking this is a mistake, or maybe really, yes, both of them is for the CPU 1 and these are loaded on CPU 2. But I don't think so because you can see CPU 1, CPU 1, CPU 1, CPU 2, CPU 2, CPU 2. You can trace it actually. Anyway, so this is CPU 1, CPU 1. These three are CPU 1, which is colored properly. So these are the orange ones, CPU 1, and these black ones are CPU 2. CPU 2 is over here, CPU 1 is over there. There is a more heatsink over here, and is there a fan in it? Looks like it. Very tiny though. For powering the board, obviously, here 1, here 2, and there's 3. So this is probably for this CPU, this is for this CPU, and this for the board. Okay, so in terms of lanes, this is X8, X8, X16, X8, X16, X16. So I'm gonna say there's no typo. You saw the difference, right? X16, X16, X8 for this one, but for this one, it is X16 and 8 and 8. 8 is missing, and that's here. I'm just guessing X4, X4, 8. So probably both of these are handled by the CPU 1. There is more bandwidth for PCIe lanes on the CPU 2. And in terms of SATA, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow. And there's an indicator here for the status code. There is JTPM, probably for the TPM. FUSB, front USB 1, front USB 4 front USB 3. Then there is COM port connector over here. Audio, fan 1, fan 2, and front panel. I like these color-coded ones because it's generic and I don't even need to look up to know what is what. But yeah, oh, that's beautiful. They even have a label on this one. HD LED, minus and plus, power connector, power LED, and reset. This is very nice. This is one of the motherboards. I don't think the other ones had any labels on it. I had to Google it. Not a big deal. You can find it, but I'm just saying. All right, let me turn it this way. Here, these 4 are USB 3.0, and then these are 4 USB 2.0s, and then each one of these is a gigabit Ethernet. I wish it was 2.5, but I'm guessing they would have reduced more lanes or something. And this is the audio port and for various things. Reset and power buttons are over here. As you can see, this is power button, this is reset button. In terms of memory, these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 8, but dual channel. So I think what they were advertising is dual channel per CPU. So here, orange and orange and black over here for this CPU, orange, orange, black for this CPU. Dual channel. That's what I think. They were saying each slot maximum supported is 32 gigabyte. That's what I remember per channel. I think that was it. But they were also saying maximum RAM that you can install is 64 gigabyte per slot. So have to check those things. I don't really have 64 gigabyte RAM sticks, but I will see what I have. That's kind of it. Okay, so now I am going to bring out the power supply, bring out a bunch of CPUs. So let me see what I have. Okay, so these are a bunch of CPUs that I have laying around. First of all, I have to find LGA 2011-3 compatible CPUs. Okay, 2699 V4, one, and another one. This is a E5 2699 V4. These are 22 cores, 44 thread, 2.2 gigahertz base, 3.6 gigahertz boost clock. So these are, I believe, the most powerful, but also 145 watts TDP. So yeah, it is very power hungry, but it is the best and most powerful CPU that you can get for this LGA 2011-3. Okay, so that being said, give me a couple of minutes. I think it's gonna be more than minutes, but yeah, I am going to install the CPU, thermal paste, heat cooler. I should have one compatible with this. Then find some RAMs, maybe some graphics card that would work for this, which is a PCIe Gen 3, I believe, and X16. So we're gonna use that. Yeah, and also SSD. I believe it's a good time to bring out this SSD. I used to have a Samsung P990 Pro, but those things are very, very expensive, and they are like $400 or so. This bad boy is as fast and as reliable, as powerful Predator 4 terabyte NVMe SSD, and the speeds, as you can see, 7400 and 6700 reading and writing speeds. I tested this. I did in my other videos, did a benchmark. It was super fast, and the price was fair. So I have some discount code as well. I will put that in the description down below. So yeah, let's get this going. Let me start installing with the NVMe SSD. All right, let's unbox this NVMe SSD. They have some Black Friday sales, so even better. I got a bunch for myself. All right. There you go. So we installed this. Now, that was the easy part. CPU, coolers, and RAMs. All right, I found a bunch of Samsung 32 gigabyte DDR4 2400 RAMs, okay? And I found this Intel cooler for these sockets. So let's go into fast forward mode. As Steve from Tronics Fix would say, that's perfect amount of thermal paste. You can say what you want here, so let's turn it this way or this way. All right, so here's what we are going to do. I'm going to use this RTX 4070. So we are going to use, because as you might have noticed that when I was going through the IO, there is no VGA or HDMI output. Okay, so you will need a GPU in order to get anything out on the screen. Keep that in mind. On top of that, what we did was I am going to test each of the SATA ports separately. So I put one in SATA and one in SATA 3. But here's what I did. 8 terabyte one is going to the SATA over here, and the 4 terabyte one is going to the SATA over here. We put a 4070 in the first PCIe lane. Okay, Ethernet cable connected, power is there, and power button is connected, and you can see the power consumption right over there. HDMI cable. Okay, let's plug that in. All right, I believe I plugged everything in. One trouble, it's not the trouble, it might be actually a little bit related to the board as well. The thing is, when I tried to install on this CPU 2, this RAM slot was way too close, and I noticed that if I force too much, I'm gonna corrupt and then I should bend the RAM or short the behind RAM. Exposed already, so I didn't want to do it. So just want to let you know that is the situation. I didn't put the RAM all the way in these 2 slots, but the other CPU was fine. I don't know why, but the measures on that one is okay, but not on this one. So it is what it is. Hopefully there won't be any explosions. I don't know, fingers crossed. That one is a little bit closed. I hope nothing will happen. And let me just confirm that it is on. Yes, it is on the on side. And as you can see, it's already 2 watts. I am a little bit scared, as you can tell, but let's see. Hopefully everything will work out. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that is correct. This is correct. Okay, it's not my fault, they mislabeled it. All right, let's do it again. They write power on and power plus and minus. That is power LED, and that's power on and off. All right, 1, 2, 3. Okay, no explosions so far. I'm gonna keep pressing delete. First I want to go to BIOS if it goes. It seems like hopefully it's not stuck. With some error code. If it is stuck, I don't think I can figure out what the error code 67 is. Okay, so 67 is memory issue. I should have suspected it. So let me try to fix it.
One eternity later.
All right, so I think I figured out the problem. Remember that I was telling you that these 2 slots, the black ones, are too close to the CPU cooler? That is the problem. So I saw it. It wasn't going in all the way in. I removed those. So we are just using the orange slots, the main slots. So yeah, it is what it is. Let's go. By the way, I didn't even need to install this. I forgot I can use this one. So anyway, let's take a look. Let's see if it boots. So far, so good. Yeah, 185. Okay, 182. Hopefully this time BIOS will show up, please. Okay, at least the error code moved on. Hopefully there is no other issues. We'll see. Oh, I heard the beeps. Please go to BIOS. Okay, there you go. So HUANANZHI X99 F8D Plus. All right, so we are in. 131 gigabytes of RAM is detected. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 times the 32 gigabyte sticks. And let's go through it. So trusted computing, yes, I don't have one that is compatible with this, so we're moving on. ACPI settings, NTC settings, hardware monitor, temperatures are good. CPU 1, CPU 2. CPU 1 is a little bit warmer, that's expected. And the fan RPMs are there. Smart fan settings, PCI subsettings, PCI Express settings. Here you can see what is there, what's not. I'm gonna walk through every single one. Gen 2 settings, it's right there, and above for G, SCR, PR, VGA, all that in here. Network stack, CSM configuration, NVMe. Okay, it detected the Predator SSD, which is this one, and USB configuration, that's for USB. Intel RC, okay, this Intel ME stuff, we always do, don't worry about it. I'm gonna go into Ubuntu and try to disable it and see if we can do it easily, like with the Flash ROM app. And as you can see, it detected Samsung SSD 1 and 2. So we are gonna speed test everything, don't worry about it. And my SSDs, my USBs, Ubuntu USBs over here, that's also there. So yeah, I don't think this is not extensive UEFI BIOS. It is very, very summarized, I guess. I don't even see bifurcation settings anywhere around here. Yeah, if I am missing it, sorry, but I don't see bifurcation settings in here. Nowhere. Nope, it's usually not here. It's usually in the bridge settings, CSM. I don't think I'm missing it. It's not here. There is no bifurcation settings in this one. So that being said, let's continue with UEFI USB. Let's go with my Ubuntu USB. I believe Ubuntu 22. I don't take chances with 24 right now. It's a little bit old CPU. Maybe there's compatibility issues with the 24, so I'm just going with 22. All right, let it boot. All right, so we are in, and so far everything on an Ubuntu live image is detected. I did not install any driver, and as you can see, with a graphics card installed and RAMs populated and 2 CPUs populated, the very powerful CPU 2699 V4, it's idling at 100 watts in Ubuntu live image. Okay, keep that in mind. Now let's go to gported. I just want to make sure that all the disks are detected. So yes, NVMe SSD, the Predator is detected, and the one 7 terabyte and one 4 terabyte is detected. SDA is the 8 terabyte, which is connected to this one, and this one is connected to the orange ones. Okay, first things first, let's do a new fetch. So we are going to see it's Ubuntu 22, Intel Xeon E5 2699 V4, 88 threads. So this is a dual CPU and both are detected, and NVIDIA 4070 is detected. Okay, first of all, I just want to see that huge number. Let's echo 88. Okay, let's do a stressng. And as you can see, the power consumption goes up to 400 watts when you're using a GPU, which is 4070, but not really much in use. And then you're using the 88 threads, which is 22 core in each CPU, 44 cores total. And you're using everything these two CPUs have. Remember, 145 TDP. So let's see what crazy number we got from this test. Oh my God, that's a million? Wow. I don't think I ever tested some stressng this test on a CPU on a machine like that. 2 million. Just for reference, Raspberry Pi 5 will score 870. So 900, let's say. For this very same test, this is scoring 2 million, but at the cost of 400 watts. So keep that in mind. Another thing I just want to very quickly test to make sure, at least I know it's a gigabit Ethernet. Well, no, it's 2.5. Well, it's not 2.5. It's not 1. It's 1.8. That's strange. That's weird. I think it's 2.5. Is the link speed what is displayed over here? Yes, it's 2.5, but to be honest, it's not 2.5. You get what I mean? I know it sounds crazy, but yeah, it's not 2.5. 2.5, I should have seen there 2.35 gigabits per second. I'm seeing 1.8. So it's 2.5 gigabit, but it's slow. So another thing that I want to test was HDParm test for the NVMe SSD. Okay, which is the Predator 7000. Let's see what we are getting for that. And that is amazing. Okay, so that's what I was telling you guys. So this is 7400 to 6700. That's what you're seeing on the screen. Let's test the 8 terabyte and the 4 terabyte NVMe SSD. So SDA, let's try the SDA first, which is the 8 terabyte, which is connected to this SATA 3 ports. Okay, that's what we are getting. Okay, very, very fast, impressive. It's 5th, 6th of the NVMe SSD speeds, but that is expected. And let's try the other one as well, the 4 terabyte one, which is connected to these orange ports, which is SATA 3 ports. Yep, same speed. So there is no difference. Both of them are getting the same speeds. So far, honestly, everything is working in this. I tested the NVMe SSD. I tested SATA cables, and 4070 is working. 2699 V4 is working. Ubuntu is working. Gigabit, it's a 2.5 gigabit, by the way, 2.5. In their website, on their listing in the AliExpress, it says gigabit. So I don't know what they were doing, but this is a 2.5 gigabit, which not really 2.5, but it's advertised as 2.5. By the way, RAM. So let's go. The DMI decode HD17. So let's go to this channel. Okay, so there is no ECC, but it could be because of my RAM. So remember, I am using 32 gigabyte PC4 2400. This is the Samsung RAM that I'm using. Server RAM, but apparently no ECC. And the channels, let's see what we are seeing here. Type DDR4 2400, that is correct. That's also what you're seeing. This is the Samsung one. Let's grab. It seems like dual channel per CPU, but as I said, because of the RAM, the fan size, and the heatsink size, I couldn't populate the others. So this is what I'm seeing. I'm just showing you what I'm seeing on the screen, which is this, okay? And there is no ECC, but it could be that the motherboard supports ECC, it's just my RAMs does not support. That being said, another very important thing is actually you guys love that thing. Seems like you guys are very paranoid, which is good. Security is very important about the Intel ME and removing it. So on that note, let's see if we can get anything to work with flash ROM. Okay, this one is locked up. This one, you can't do it. Like in the other motherboards that I showed you guys, you can very easily use flash ROM and internally read the BIOS and flash over it. But on this one, we have to locate it on the board and then dump it, patch it, and flash it back with a cable. So it's not that easy, which is actually strange because I see on the screen that found WinBond, it detected it, but when it's trying to read, there is an error. So I'm not sure why. Let's try again. Not really. So I don't think you can do it. I am going to try to locate the BIOS chip on this so I can show you at least. If you want to do it, you will have to go through that process yourself, dump it and then patch it, which I have done in other videos. Please check out if you haven't seen in my channel. There are videos where I dumped it with those SOIC8 clips. You can see the UEFI BIOS analysis video. There I showcased on a box that I installed pfSense on it. Also in other Chinese X99 motherboards that I reviewed, I also show you guys how you can dump it with flash ROM, patch it, and then flash it back. So this BIOS is a little bit annoying. I'm gonna be honest. There is no PCIe bifurcation, not much of a settings, and I couldn't do flash ROM, which is unfortunate. That being said, let's be honest and fair. The PCIe is working very well, and the NVMe SSD speeds were great. SATA's ports worked. Memory couldn't get ECC, but could be due to my RAM, but yeah, it just couldn't get it to work. CPUs 2699s V4s, we getting 400 watts power, and it's killing it. We got 2 million points in stressng, and the 2.5 gigabit Ethernet is actually 1.8-ish. It's okay, but on the bright side, when you're buying it, if you see the listing, it says gigabit, so you will be surprised to see at least you get a 2.5 gigabit. So that being said, I'm gonna shut it down and try to at least find the BIOS chip where it is, and I show you guys that. So I will be right back. Okay, right before trying to look for the BIOS stuff, I wanted to show you a couple of things because I know you guys gonna ask me about it. So here is the 3D Mark score for this 4070. Absolutely, you can play all sorts of game on this with absolutely no problem whatsoever. And I just want to say, when I was running that test, power consumption was like 300. And with this, we are getting the CPU core score in Cinebench 2024 1540. That's the score we are getting in Cinebench. And Crystal Disk score also, I was getting at the better scores, but yeah, this is roughly what you will get in this motherboard. Not the NVMe SSD, but the motherboard, okay? I just want to show you also one thing that I think it is very beautiful. Let me show you the logical processors, okay? And I just want to light up that and start the test. We already have the score 1544, but I just want to show you the power consumption and the beautiful scene of all these cores lighting up like that, okay? So yeah, there you go. 375, 380 watts it will go. All the cores are 100% and they're running. I just wanted to show you this so you can see the beautiful scene of using 88 threads, okay? I don't have the TPM module, but I installed Windows 10. There were a lot of optional Intel Xeon updates. I installed every one of them. And so one thing I have to tell you, if you install Windows 10, by default, the Ethernet driver looks like it is there. You will see the Ethernet driver, but it doesn't work. So I had to go download the Realtek 2.5 gigabit Ethernet bundle. It's like 5 meg. I ran the installer, and then and only then I was able to actually connect to internet. Just something to keep in mind. They're not important, but I'm just saying. I believe I've covered everything. I showed you a lot in Ubuntu, showed you in Windows. You see the scores, ports are working, motherboard is functional. So I don't think there's any issues particularly with the motherboard itself, and it's still performing as it's intended to. And for 100 bucks, 110 bucks, I believe it's a good deal. It's a nice motherboard. So now I will turn off and see if I can find any BIOS chip. Give me a couple of minutes. Okay, so not that hard. Right by the SATA ports, right there is the WinBond chip. That is the BIOS. I believe so. I did not find any other similar similar to this wind bond. So I am most likely positive that this is the BIOS chip. So if you guys have this and you know that it's not the BIOS and something else, please let me know. But I believe that's the BIOS. So that being said, thanks for watching. Hopefully this was useful for you guys. For $100, $110, I believe it's worth it and it should be fine. Okay, thanks for watching, and please let me know if you have any questions down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.